Social comparisons are a natural part of human life, but looking up at peers with more wealth or status can leave people feeling intensely disadvantaged. Psychologists call this personal relative deprivation. It breeds frustration and alters social behavior. Researchers at Renmin University of China wanted to know how this feeling of being left behind affects our social bonds. They hypothesized that people who feel deprived might start viewing their peers as tools to be used, rather than human beings with their own inner lives. To test this, the researchers first surveyed 3,482 university freshmen in China. They found that students who reported higher levels of relative deprivation also reported a greater tendency to objectify others. Because this was a survey, it could only show an association, not a direct cause. Next, they surveyed 250 adults to see if a transactional mindset explained this link. In a transactional or exchange-oriented relationship, people interact based on tracking costs and benefits, much like a financial transaction. The survey showed that feeling deprived was strongly linked to adopting this exchange orientation, which in turn predicted the objectification of others. This pathway held up even when the researchers accounted for dark personality traits like narcissism and a general desire for social power. To establish a causal connection, the researchers conducted an experiment with 194 adults. Participants read a science fiction scenario about living on a newly discovered planet where the ability to fly was the most important skill for a good life. The researchers split the participants into two groups. One group compared themselves to the planet's most successful residents, inducing high relative deprivation. The other group compared themselves to the least successful residents. Then, participants rated what traits they would value in a potential friend on this planet. The experiment showed that the high deprivation group placed greater importance on instrumental qualities, like the person's flying skills. Differences between the groups regarding interpersonal traits like kindness or shared values were not statistically significant. By manipulating the environment, the researchers demonstrated that a sense of deprivation directly causes people to view relationships through a cost-benefit lens. Feeling left behind leads individuals to value others primarily for their practical utility, essentially training the brain to look for relationships that offer a strategic advantage. Learn more about this study and other new research at PsyPost.org.